So today we'll be talking about guilt and regret and how we can deal with it. As human beings, we all have times where we've gone through regrets, like things that we're not proud of, we feel guilty, and we just keep holding on to those things. We don't forgive ourselves, we don't move past it. We hold it so much that it even becomes the reflection of ourselves. So I'm here to talk about like ways we can navigate guilt, regrets, and how we can move on to become better people for ourselves and for everyone around us. So if this sounds like something that you are interested in, then keep watching. So there are two types of guilt or regret. So guilt could come from an example, I'm a first daughter of a family. I'm feeling guilty because I'm not helping my siblings out. I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And that's not because you're wicked, but that's because you're not in that position yet to help them. So that kind of guilt, it's okay. Like, it's sort of okay and you can't deal with it. But the guilt I'm talking about today, it's guilt of like we being bad people, like we've been bad to people previously, we've done things that we are not in any way, shape or form proud of. So that's the kind of guilt I'm talking about today. And if this is your first time actually seeing my face here on the internet, hi, my name is Grace, and I talk about like life experiences. I like to share my thoughts on different topics, and if this sounds like something you would be interested in, then don't forget to subscribe and also click the notification button so you could always know when I post. And just so moving on to why we're here today, so like I did say, we are here to talk about like how to move past guilt or regret. And as human beings, we've all felt that. I don't think anybody could say to me right now that they haven't felt like guilty, they haven't felt bad, or they haven't had things that they regret ever doing. It could be when you were much younger, it could even be now that you're an adult. And here are ways that I believe that you can navigate that and just move on from your past, really. Okay, so first things first, I would say that you have to start by asking yourself why. And when I say why, different things or occasions or events would lead us into doing things that we're not proud of. So it's good to know why you did that. Were you triggered by something? Where you couldn't control your emotions at that time? Were you feeling bad? Were you in a bad state? Like, were you going through something, or you were not even going through something and you just did what you did? Whatever the case may be, you have to ask yourself, why did I do that? Like, why did I cross my thoughts? Why was I able to act the way that I did? Once you understand why you did that, that is your first step into moving to becoming a better person and not doing what you've done previously. So that question why, it's really, really important. We have to sit down and talk to ourselves and make ourselves and have those conversations with ourselves and understand like why those things happen and why we did that. So the second step now would be to forgive yourself. So after you figured out why, say your why was that you were just not in the mood and you reacted that way, or your why could be, because you had like past trauma from that thing, you reacted that way. You have to now forgive yourself. Just forgive yourself on what had happened. Forgive yourself, move on. Even God has forgiven you. Like, God keeps forgiving us in every single thing that we do. So that's to even show you how imperfect we are as human beings. No matter how perfect we think we are, that just goes to show how very much imperfect we are. So the moment you actually realize that, then you're on your way to becoming a better person, because you really have to forgive yourself first before like the other person who you've offended or who you did that bad thing to could even forgive you. So you have to start within yourself. So the next thing you could also do for yourself is to now focus on what you have learned from that situation. And as you guys know, I like to give myself or use myself as an example with every single topic that I talk about. So in this case, I'm going to be talking about when I was much younger and I had alcohol for the first time. And I knew that having alcohol for the first time, I was actually supposed to have it in less quantity and not in like much quantity, just given that it's my first time. But I was just feeling all good, all bad. I was like, nah, I kept on drinking and drinking and drinking. And then I actually like walked on the road, and a car almost hit me, okay? Like a car literally almost hit me, and my life flashed before my eyes. Like I was like, what just happened right now? Okay? So that's something that I would always hold on to myself. Like I would I felt like, oh my God, what did I do to myself? I was regretting that situation so much that it was making me, I wouldn't even want to go out. I started becoming like a shadow of myself just because of what I did. Um, how I was able to now deal with that, which is my third point, is asking yourself what you've learned from that situation. Okay, so after you have asked yourself why you did that and you now forgive yourself, the third thing now is to ask yourself, like, what did I learn from that? And in my case, it was like, okay, now I know that I'm not an alcoholic. Now I know that I'm someone who can handle drinks. Now I know that I need to respect myself when I'm outside and ensure that, I drink in moderation no matter what the case is, and try to put myself together. So it's like from that situation I started to ask myself these deep questions of what have I learned from this thing? And the minute I actually now realize what I could learn from that event, that was it for me. Like I would go out now and I'm drinking in moderation. In fact, I would even hardly drink, but if I'm going out right now, like this happened over like say 9 years ago, I would always drink in moderation. And that's the way I just learned that no matter what the event is, no matter how lit that party is, you're not gonna catch me like so drunk to the point where I don't know anything around me, or I can't like be myself, or I'm not aware of my environment. You would never catch me doing that. So that's the third step into getting past your regrets or what makes you feel guilty. So the first step now is tying into the third one. So start doing those things that you've learned from that situation. So we're still using my own example, right? So now, after figuring out what I've learned from that situation, which was my third point, the fourth point now is now to start implementing it in my life. So it's not like just, oh, I've told myself, oh, I learned that I'm not supposed to drink, or I've learned that I'm not an alcoholic, or I've learned this. That's okay. But after you've told yourself what you learned, you have to make that conscious effort now to start putting it into practice by doing it day to day, by going out, and no matter how influenced you are outside and people are offering you drinks, say, oh, let's get lit, it wouldn't matter, don't worry, I have my driver here who's going to take you back home. No, you already know, no matter how late that party is, you've already told yourself what you've learned from that situation. So it's time for you to start implementing it. So no matter how late that party is, you're going to say, oh, I'm just going to have 2 glasses and I'm fine. So you have to start implementing everything you've learned from whatever that situation has taught you in life. So that makes you a different person. You're no longer stuck into who you were previously, but you're coming out of that to become a better person. Make sense? And then I would say like the final thing would be to stay patient throughout the situation. It's a journey. This is something that you're trying to change about yourself. And like I said at the start, we are always so hard on ourselves. I feel like as human beings, it's so easy to forgive people, and we're so much harder on ourselves when it comes to dealing with things we have to move past on our own. And then overall, we just have to stay patient with the process. Even if you fall back and do that thing again, I mean, that's why you're human. That's why you're imperfect. You're not going to just stand up and want to change who you were previously and then you're just going to change in one day. It actually takes time. That's the process. That's what life is about. So just remain patient with yourself. I just believe that as long as you have that consciousness in your heart, in your mind, that, okay, I don't like this thing that I do. I don't like this thing I've done previously. I want to change it. I want to become a better human being. I feel like that's all you really need, because each time we hold on to our past and not make effort with it, we just tell ourselves, oh, that's how I am. Oh, that's how I am. I hate hearing people say that, oh, I'm just like that. Oh, I'm just like that. What do you mean you're just like that? How did you shape yourself to just be like that? Okay. So I feel like in all, what you can take out from here is past regrets shouldn't define you. Okay. Not because you've done something previously. you cannot speak about it now because that's not who you are anymore. Some people get it twisted that, oh, because I've done that before, I'm bad, I'm not supposed to talk about it again. Nah, you're no longer that person. You've moved from who you were. You've forgiven yourself. You're now a new person, and that's who you are. I really hope this helped someone out there. And just let me know in the comment section what other videos you'd like to see. Did this help you at all? Are you going through any guilt, any regret? And try to implement this and see how that goes for you. I will see you in my next video. Thank you guys, and see you. Bye bye.